sharpen me up for the things that I want to do in life too. I just might not be able to go full throttle. Like when I was working towards my doctorate, before I got to my doctorate, him and I both met in college. So we both had our bachelor's. Right after that, I got my master's. And then I took a break and he was like, you know what? I'm going back to school. I want to get my master's. So at that point, I couldn't get my doctorate. Even though in my mind I had a goal like by the time I'm 30, 3, I want to have my doctorate. That was my mindset. But that wasn't life. He was like, I'm going back to school. And I knew it would be too much with me trying to work on a doctorate with the level that takes, and him being in school and us having 2 kids. Wasn't going to happen. So I had to put mine on the back burner while he worked towards that. And I supported and helped him in that. Once he was finished, then I was able to get back on track. So it's a matter of giving and taking and pouring into each other's hopes and dreams so everybody can be fulfilled.
There was something that she had said, and I don't know if I heard it incorrectly, but she said something along the lines of rich and successful men, uh, they don't appreciate their woman or something like that. What
He
is she?
said they forget to add their woman into their plan and
So
actually allow their woman to help them grow more and get to that level.
well, I don't. I think that that's false because most rich and successful men understand the importance and value of a good woman that can do that. So I don't think that I don't agree with that part. I just wanted to point that out because I felt like she was um, taking away the dynamics that I would say the majority of men, be it if they're brokey, right? They still understand the value and importance of a good and solid woman because that in most cases that's when they're not going to try to let her away if she's trying to get away from her. So I think that those little things I think add to the separation again of each person understanding the value of each other. I mean, men, God created woman to be a man's helpmeet. So that's in men innately to want and desire that with a woman, and especially to build, to your point, Ty, earlier, to be able to build with that woman because now I know that you got my back. You know what I'm saying? Through thick and thin, through highs and the lows. And I know that you're not just here for the bag.
Hey, Fizz, I'm not. I agree that there are some men out there that do understand it, but then there are some men that don't understand it. Just like how some women have been broken and scorned, you have men that's been done the same way, that have been taken advantage of. And so for their future relationship, it's going to be difficult for them to be able to be vulnerable enough. Just like you have some women that's been in control, that hold like them leadership jobs. It's kind of hard for them to relax and allow a man to be able to lead because they so used to leading. And men are the same way too. Men lead to the point, not all, but some men lead to the point where it's going to take a lot of work to be able to like delegate. So they rather just hold the burden themselves. I've been guilty of that. I have to go and have to explain and teach somebody how to think like me. And if they can't think like me, then I don't want to waste no time doing it because I'm already busy. So it's kind of difficult for me to delegate. And they ask and they ask and they ask, but they got to be the right person. I can't just give anybody this level of control without them being a certain place in my life. So
Well, no, I agree with that. I agree with everything that you said. And of course, over time, especially in our adult years, after we done went through that puppy love and we had our heart broken and this bitch cheated on me and all, you know what I'm saying? You go through all of these emotions and then you build up this wall and then this person comes along. It's like, damn, this feels good. This feels like home. I feel safe here. I think that's that's when that person is going to open up and allow for that to happen. But of course, they got to be willing to do it.
Brittany, what you got to say? Why you look like you frowning? She been frowning.
I'm sorry. I got that the resting bee face. I'm really happy. I just when I'm sitting still.
Ty, you know what it is, Ty? She's mad at herself because she agreed with me, and now she's mad because she said it. That's what it really is, Ty. She mad because she agreed with me and she don't like it. Now she's feeling some type of way.
Oh my gosh. No, I think I echo what Miss Taken said, that I think it's about, if we're going back to the original question, pouring into each other, giving each other the space and time. Even in my own personal situation in the past, in my early 20s, I worked, but I also was an entrepreneur. And at one point I was a full-time entrepreneur, and my ex-husband at the time worked and held it down for the most part during that time. And then I got pregnant. Our responsibilities increased. It was like, okay, I need to like put my entrepreneurial dreams on hold for a minute until that revenue starts coming in the way I needed to. I went ahead and went to work as well. And then fast forward, it was a time when he was tired of his situation where he was working and he had aspirations to go into the real estate side of things full time. And it's like, you know what? I'm gonna hold us down. Like, you do that. So I agree. Like, it's really about pouring into each other and finding that work-life harmony in order to make it work.
And sometimes it doesn't have to be at the same time. Like when I was working and my child's father wasn't, I supported his dreams just by studio money. You know what I'm saying? Money that contributed to something he was doing. And in my head, I was prepared to, whenever he needed me, hey, I need you for this music video. Okay, I need you to watch the baby. I need you to be here to support me mentally. Da, 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 da. Then I already knew that when that time come, I would be ready to do that for him. Supporting each other and pouring into each other doesn't always have to be with money either. I was able to go to work and do all the things that I could do to support him because of how he was pouring into me. And that's why, like I said, it's not always about money. If you can pour into each other, then you both can get your dreams satisfied. It's just which one makes sense right now for our situation. Which one is going to put us both in a stable spot to make sure that, okay, we're getting things handled, but one of us is going somewhere. Because sometimes I think it is a lot for a woman to try to do her dreams and her dreams at the same time. Just like Miss Taken was saying, like with her degree, she was like, okay, I was going for that doctorals, but based on where they were in life, she's like, okay, I need to support him. You know what I'm saying? Versus taking too much load on yourself and now you blaming him because it's like, oh, I'm supporting you and what about my dreams? Sometimes you really have to just sit down and say, okay, which one is going to help us meet our family needs right now, especially if those needs aren't all the way met.